Well, we are ready for the second half from the Atlantic League as the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, the first half North Division champions at a 48-18 record, the best half in Atlantic League history. There have been over 400 halves played across league history. The Blue Crabs had the best. A 48-18 record, good for a 727 winning percentage. The Blue Crabs take on the Dirty Birds in Game 2 of this 3-game series. We'll run you through the lineups and the starting pitching in just one moment. Starting for the Charleston Dirty Birds tonight, it's going to be Anthony Seymour who leads off. He's in center field. Nick Heath, who hit an RBI triple, make that a 2 RBI triple to center field last night. Nearly tied to the game. He bats second. Diego Goris bats third. He's at shortstop. Angel Beltre is a cleanup hitter. He is also the DH tonight. Alfredo Gonzalez bats fifth. He's at first base. Scott Burcham, the former Blue Crab, he bats sixth. He plays shortstop. Corey Bird is in left field. He bats seventh. Yoban Gonzalez will be doing the catching. He bats eighth. And Scott Kelly, who hit fifth last night, is in the 9 spot tonight. Alex Merrithew on the mound for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs as the righty is set. First pitch, low and in, count 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Alex Merrithew had a bit of a tough start to the season, but has he ever rebounded? The right-hander over his last 7 2/3 innings has not allowed an earned run. Pitch, this one on the ground toward first base. Tough time handling it for DeLuca. The flip to first. Merrithew's there in time for the out. Well, it's not how you write up a 3-1 putout, but Joe DeLuca recovers after the initial bobble and tosses to Merrithew. There's one away. Brings up Nick Heath, who has Major League Baseball experience. Before we go any further, I have to give you some of the numbers on Alex Merrithew, and they really are good. They jump off the page, especially in his last month. Has a 0.93 ERA across the month of June. First pitch a little bit inside for ball 1 on Nick Heath. I'll bring you around the Blue Crabs' defensive alignment after this pitch from the righty. 1-0 delivery. Called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. From left to right in the outfield, Jared Walker, Jack Sundberg, Braxton Lee in the infield at third base. Michael Wolanski, shortstop Michael Baca, 1-1 pitch, fouled back. Second base, it's Raul Shad. At first, it's Joe DeLuca. Ryan Haug is doing the catching for Alex Merrithew. Heath digs back in from the left side. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on the lefty. 1-2 delivery. Just a little bit outside in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And while Merrithew has allowed his fair share of hits, the lack of walks has really been, I beg your pardon, apologize for that. The pitch, this one hit high in the air, deep right center field, back to the warning track at the wall. That ball is off the wall. Braxton Lee quickly to it. The quick feed to Shaw, throw to third base is a little bit late. It's a triple from Nick Heath, back-to-back triples for the lefty. Hit a triple off of the closer Matt Latos last night and hits a triple to right center here in the first inning. So a runner on third base with 1 out as Diego Goris comes to the dish. Goris will be followed by Angel Beltre. It's Senior Sluggers Night. We welcome all the senior citizens to the ballpark for tonight's ball game. We also have Elvis Night tonight. First pitch, called strike on Beltre in the count 0-1. And as part of Elvis Night, all of the opposing team walk-up songs are Elvis songs. 0-1 pitch to Goris. Swinging a high pop-up in the infield. Foul territory. DeLuca over. He makes the catch in front of the bullpen. Quickly firing to the plate. And forced to stay at third base, it's Nick Heath. So a pop-up to first. There are 2 away. in the top of the first inning. That brings up Engel Beltre. Beltre will be followed by Gonzalez if necessary. Runner on third base and 2 outs as Alex Merrithew looks to wiggle his way out of a jam. Welcome all the fans into tonight's ball game, all the Blue Crabs fans as well as the Dirty Birds fans. Merrithew, first pitch, a little bit inside, count 1 ball and no strikes. I talked about how Merrithew's somewhat prone to allow hits. What he's really found success with this year, though, is his control. Get to those numbers in just one moment. 1-0 pitch, big wave and a miss on a convincing breaking ball. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Last season, Alex Merrithew, across 74 innings, had 37 walks. It's about a half a walk per inning, which is not exactly where you'd like those numbers. 1-1 pitch, a little bit outside, count 2-1. It's about 4.5 walks per 9. In a perfect world, you're between 2 and 3. Or if you're under 2, it's even better. And that's the case for Merrithew this year. 0 walks in 21 innings. 2-1 pitch runs inside. Now Merrithew at risk of walking his first batter this season. So with 2 outs in the first inning, he's gone officially 21 innings, striking out 17 batters and walking none, but at significant risk of walking Engel Beltre with the count 3 balls and 1 strike. Beltre to be followed by Alfredo Gonzalez. Hear from Ronnie Canterbury, the Dirty Birds fan, in our YouTube chat. Let us know where you're watching and listening from. We'll give you a shout out on air. 3-1 pitch. That is the first walk Alex Merrithew has issued this season. It's up and away for ball 4, and Beltre works a walk. And Alfredo Gonzalez stands on deck. He now steps in. Gonzalez playing first base tonight. Runners on the corners for the Dirty Birds. With nobody out, Ronnie Canterbury listening in Ohio. Let us know where you're watching or listening to the game from. Type it in the YouTube chat and we'll give you a shout out live on air. Pitch, line drive, hard hit, first base side from Gonzalez. It's into the seats. Count, no balls and 1 strike. 2 away. In the top of the first inning, no score from the Reg in Waldorf. We apologize, we don't have our traditional broadcast setup for you today, as we'll have that back for you for our next home game on Friday night. Merrithew set. 0-1 pitch to Gonzalez. Up and in. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's go back through this inning. Anthony Seymour grounded out to first to get things started. Nick Heath with a triple to right center. A pop out from Diego Goris and a walk to Engel Beltre. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, count 2 balls and 1 strike on Alfredo Gonzalez. And all of a sudden, Merrithew having a couple of control issues, something that he's not so accustomed to. On the year, Alex Merrithew with a 4.43 ERA. The whip, though, at just 1.13. Two-one pitch from Alex Merrithew on Engel Beltre on Alfredo Gonzalez. The pitch is low. Throw down to third base on a snap throw after the runner goes to second, but it's not in time to get Nick Heath. Engel Beltre took off for second base. He stole second successfully. The runner on third base, Nick Heath, was about to break for the plate. A fake throw down to second from Ryan Howe. He fired to third to see if Engel Beltre had too large of a lead. He did not. He dove in safely. So now 2 outs, 3-1 count with 2 runners in scoring position. Dirty Birds looking to capitalize early. 3-1 pitch, a little bit upstairs. Merrithew had not walked a batter all year. He's walked 2 here in the first. Gonzalez on first, Beltre on second. It's Heath from third base. The bases are loaded with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. And all of a sudden, Alex Matthews seems to have some control issues. Scott Bertram, the former Blue Crab, steps into another Elvis song. No runs on one hit for the Dirty Birds in the top of the first inning. First pitch to Bertram. That's a called strike by the home plate umpire, Rob Massaro. Your umpiring crew today. Massaro behind the plate. Jerry Burish at first and Bill Worthington at third base. Of course, that is Bill the Skill Worthington. 0-1 delivery from Matthew. Big wave and a miss on a breaking ball. He got Bertram to bite, and now ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the first inning with the bases loaded for the Dirty Birds. The 0-2 pitch, ground ball foul, first base side from Bertram. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes in a scoreless ball game. Run you through the Blue Crabs batting order in the bottom of the first inning. And how they'll face off against Walker Weichel. Matthew comes set at the chest. 0-2 delivery. That's low and away. Nicely caught by Ryan Haug. That ball got by him. Heath would be coming home from third base. Well, last time out for Alex Matthew, he navigated 4 2/3 innings without allowing a run, but at major risk here. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss. Strike 3. The 1-2 pitch gets Scott Bertram swinging at the pitch in the dirt, and that ends the top of the first inning. Alex Matthew works out of quite a bit of trouble and evades the first inning scoreless. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Back from Southern Maryland. And a scoreless ball game in the bottom of the first inning. Walker Weichel onto the mound for the Dirty Birds. First pitch, called strike, outside corner. Count, no balls, and 1 strike. I'm going to give you the numbers on Walker Weichel across his first 23 appearances. Only made 4 starts. This is the 4th. Pitch, swinging a ground ball through the right side for a base hit from Jack Sundberg. The left-handed hitter beats the righty to get things going. It's the first Blue Crabs hit of the evening. There's a runner on first base with nobody out. Well, that brings up Michael Wolanski. Runner on first base and nobody out. Oh, Walker Weichel comes into this one with a 1-5 record, an ERA of 5.66. Things have not been good in the month of June. Made his last appearance back on June 28th. First pitch to Wolanski's low and away. Count, 1 ball and no strikes. In his last start against High Point, 6 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. He allowed 3 homers in that ball game, coupled with a pair of walks and 3 strikeouts. Runner on first base, nobody out. Bottom of the first inning. Weichel, big swing and a miss on that 1-0 pitch. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Scoreless ball game here at the Reg. Dirty Birds threatened back in the first inning, loaded the bases with 2 outs, but could not punch home a run. Weichel, the runner on first base and nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swinging a line drive, softly hit, right field side. It's a base hit. Sundberg sprints around second, and he pulls on the brakes at third base. It's a base hit for Michael Wolanski. There are runners on the corners with nobody out. First pitch to Collier, big wave and a miss. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Runners on the corners, nobody out. First pitch, low and in for ball 1 on Zach Collier. Collier will be followed by Jared Walker and Braxton Lee. We'll run you through the entire Blue Crabs batting order and the defensive alignment for the Dirty Birds in just one moment. 1-1 pitch on the outside corner, count 1-2. Jack Sundberg, who led off with a single to right, followed by Michael Wolanski, who followed him up with a single to right. Zach Collier at the plate right now from the left side. It's Jared Walker. He'll be followed by Braxton Lee, who's in the 5 spot tonight. Alex Crosby with the day off. Joe DeLuca bats 6th. Raul Schott in the 7 spot. Ryan Haug bats 8th. He's doing the catching. Michael Baca is batting 9th. The pitch, that one in there for a strike. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Zach Collier. Walker Weichel trying to work out of what's become quite a jam here in the first. Pitch, ground ball foul, first base side. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Collier hitting .254 on the year, but last night was a breakout performance. 3 for 4 with a double and a triple. Also drove in a pair of runs. His double back in the first inning brought home a run. This one, ground ball over towards second base. The throw to second for 1. Back on to first, not in time. The first baseman, Gonzalez, has trouble with it. And meanwhile, Sundberg scores from third base. The Blue Crabs have a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. Fielder's choice and an RBI from Zach Collier. as Jack Sundberg comes around and scores the game's opening run. Weichel not out of the woods yet. Runner on first base and one out. In the bottom of the first inning, the Blue Crabs have struck first. Fielder's choice was enough to get Jack Sundberg in from third base. The pitch, that one, a little bit up and away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Fans, unfortunately, we do not have a scoreboard on our screen, what's known as a score bug traditionally. The reason is we're not working with our traditional broadcast setup tonight, so I'll be updating you on the score periodically throughout the ballgame. Pitch to Walker, line drive, right field, base hit. Collier jogs around second and heads into third. Another single. So third single in 4 batters. The Blue Crabs have runners on the corners yet again. There's only one out. Collier to third. Jared Walker on first base. And it brings up Braxton Lee. He'll be followed by Joe DeLuca, as Southern Maryland already has a 1-0 lead. Braxton Lee, someone who has really picked things up the last few weeks and found some consistency especially. His batting average right around 300, and it's been that at that mark for quite some time. He peaked over there at 305, which was the highest he got to. He's at 296 right now as the first pitch is low and in, count 1 ball and no strikes. There's no question what Braxton Lee is. He's a good contact hitter with some speed. A lot of teams would like to have him right at the top of the lineup, but the Blue Crabs have Jack Sundberg right there. The pitch to Lee, I should say, is fouled back to the netting, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Blue Crabs ahead, 1-0. Lee played in AAA last year, also spent a brief stint in AA, and played the very beginning of the season with the Blue Crabs. 1-1 pitch. This one on the ground toward first base. To second for 1. Back onto first. There's no throw. Meanwhile, Collier comes in and scores. It's a fielder's choice yet again, and it brings home Zach Collier. The Blue Crabs have a 2-0 lead. They've traded 2 runs for 2 outs. And here comes Joe DeLuca. Blue Crabs looking to extend this first inning rally. They already have a 2-0 lead. Joe DeLuca, 288 hitter on the year. He's got 5 homers, hit 2 home runs against Charleston earlier this year. Has paired that with 25 RBIs. Briefly spent time with the Cincinnati Reds organization. Played for the Louisville Bats briefly. Runner goes, and the first pitch, it gets past the catcher Gonzalez. Lee thought about taking third, but he stands at second instead. It's a stolen base for Braxton Lee. Wild pitch does not affect things since he was already at second. We'll have to see the official scoring, but I'd imagine that goes down as a stolen base for Braxton Lee. Either way, it puts a runner in scoring position for the Blue Crabs with 2 outs. They're already ahead by 2. DeLuca digs back in from the left side. The switch hitter generally hits better from the right side this season. Joe DeLuca, one of the hardest working players in the entire league. Walker Weichel steps off and looks back. Braxton Lee at second base, who's chased back to the bag. The amount of time that Joe DeLuca spends between tee work and batting practice work, it's a lot of time, and the work shows. He's got a lot of power. He's got a great swing. As the pitch, big wave and a miss and a breaking ball low in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bottom 1. Blue Crabs have a 2-0 lead in the first inning. Walker Weichel set. Here's the pitch. Away. And the count, 2 balls and 1 strike on the power hitting switch hitter, who bats from the left side for now. against the right-handed pitcher Walker Weichel. Massive crowd on hand last night. Today, the day after July 4th. Here's the pitch. Line drive, up the middle, base hit. It rolls into the center fielder Seymour's glove. Meanwhile, it's Braxton Lee who trots home. An RBI single from Joe DeLuca, the Blue Crabs, with 4 hits and 3 runs across the first 2/3 of an inning. Not what Walker Weichel was looking for to get things started in the first. A lot of contact. Control hasn't necessarily been an issue, but base hits from Sundberg, from Wolanski, from Jared Walker, and now Joe DeLuca. Raul Shah using the light blue bat on the light blue jerseys. First pitch called strike, outer half in the count, no balls and a strike. Blue Crabs, 3. And the Dirty Birds, nothing. Dirty Birds put Alex Marathu in a bit of a jam in the first, but he worked out of it. He allowed a hit and 2 walks. Blue Crabs have 3 runs on 4 hits. First pitch or the 0-1 pitch to Shah is fouled back to the netting in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Joe DeLuca sees his batting average peak over 290 with his last base hit. Meanwhile, Shah, here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. DeLuca was off and running, but the strikeout ends the inning. Blue Crabs score 3 runs. They strand 1 at the end of the first inning. It's the Blue Crabs 3 and the Dirty Birds nothing. Oh, the first pitch is in there for a called strike on Corey Bird, who gets things started in the top of the second inning against Alex Merrithew. We apologize for some of the camera issues today. We're doing our best here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network as the pitch is a breaking ball. Called a ball by the home plate umpire, Rob Massaro, that looked awfully close. Bird followed by Yovan Gonzalez and Scott Kelly. Merrithew the pitch. Inside, apparently it clipped him. It's a hit batsman for Alex Merrithew to get things started in the second inning. Again, this is not someone who's had control issues so far this year, but a pair of walks in the first and a hit batsman here in the second. Hasn't conceded a run yet, but he's worked himself into trouble. Here comes Yovan Gonzalez. Runner on first base with nobody out. Runner goes in the first pitch. It's inside. Throw to second's a good one, but it's better speed from Corey Bird, who swiped second successfully. Runner on second base. Pitch, a little bit low. Count 2 balls and no strikes now on Yovan Gonzalez. The pitch, that one's popped up. First base side gonna get into the seats. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody out for Yovan Gonzalez. Well, thank you for everybody who's tuning in to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network, whether you're a fan of the Charleston Dirty Birds or the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Blue Crabs have an early 3-0 lead in the first inning. Or in the top of the second now. They scored 3 runs in the first inning. Merrithew set. 2-1 from Merrithew. Low in the dirt. And the count 3 balls and 1 strike. Not what you traditionally see out of Alex Merrithew. When Merrithew allows base runners and allows runs, it's almost always as a result of base hits and a lot of times hard hit balls. He does not walk a lot of guys though, and he's fallen behind in the count 3-1 on Gonzalez. The pitch, that one's fouled back, first base side, and now the count even at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner on second base for Charleston. Blue Crabs lead this one by 3. Corey Bird got things started with a Merrithew looks back the runner. 3-2 pitch. Line drive, hard hit, first base side, foul yet again. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Merrithew's someone who can throw pretty hard. We've seen him throw 93, 94 this year. And he's got a good breaking ball. Was on display as part of the strikeout of Scott Burcham. Three-two, ground ball to the third base side, fielded by Wolanski, double clutch, throws to first, it's in time to get Gonzalez, and forces Corey Bird to hold at second base. Runner on second with 1 out in the top of the second inning. It brings up the 9-hitter, Scott Kelly. He batted 5th yesterday, with Burcham batting 6th. That's changed today. He's in the 9 spot. The second half is underway, and these games all of a sudden matter for the Dirty Birds, who put Joe Testa, who is the pitching coach, in left field last night. Shows about how much interest they had in winning that ball game. Denson Hull got the start yesterday, the former Blue Crab. He went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs, It's a real step in the right direction for him after having a bit of a tough June. And people just can't say enough good things about Denson Hall and the work he did in Southern Maryland. Here's the pitch. Kelly squares around a bunt and pulls back. The pitch is low. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Runner on second base and 1 out. 3-0 Blue Crabs. They lead the Dirty Birds. Pitch called strike on the inside corner from Merrithew. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 away in the top of the second. The Blue Crabs scored 3 runs on 4 hits. All 4 of which were singles back in the first inning. Pitch, that one spun backwards behind home plate. Hitting off of one of the sweets in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Dirty Birds threatened back in the first inning. A triple followed by a pair of walks put Alex Merrithew in a jam, but he managed to work out of it. A pop out and a strikeout to elude damage. Here in the second, he's hit a batter, but he got a ground out to third from Yovan Gonzalez and ahead 1-2 on Scott Kelly. Merrithew is set. 1-2 pitch. Blowing away on a slider that was diving out of the plate. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes on the righty, Scott Kelly. Your umpiring crew today. Rob Massaro behind home plate. Jerry Burrish at first. And at third base, it's Bill Skill Worthington. 2-2 pitch popped up foul behind home plate. I had a comment just moments ago from J.D. West, who says he's surprised the field is dry enough. He said his home cameras were showing a lot of rain all day, and it did rain today, don't get me wrong. Definitely rain. There were a couple of downpours around 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. But terrific work by the Blue Crabs. Merrithew steps off to look back Scott Kelly, or beg your pardon, look back Yovan, or Corey Bird, I should say, at second base. Scott Kelly at the plate. Yovan Gonzalez went down on the ground out to third. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner goes, pitch, swinging a high fly ball, first base side, tailing foul. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. From second base, it's Corey Bird. Top of the second inning with 1 out. Merrithew set. Here's the pitch. Low and away yet again. Count runs full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out with a runner on second base. The Blue Crabs still holding on to that 3-0 lead. They got 3 runs in the first inning alone. We talked about availability in the bullpen yesterday, but it has to be another question tonight. We're going to get into that in just one moment. Pitch just outside, a long and hard-fought walk from Scott Kelly. And there are runners on first and second with 1 out. We apologize, folks, if the camera is shaky tonight. We're trying to work as best we can on making sure the broadcast is up and running for everybody. Working through some technical difficulties over the last couple of days. Pitch called strike on the outside corner. The count, no balls and 1 strike on Anthony Seymour. Tarp all set and ready to go. Cody Miller exactly right on that point. And as Merrily Grace said, as the pitch called strike and the count no balls and 2 strikes in the outer half. The tarp is repaired, 100%. Ready to play some baseball today. 0-2 pitch upcoming to Seymour. Here's the offering. Line drive, hard hit, third base side, out of play. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Again, if you'd like a shout out on air, just let us know where you're listening from. And we'll give you a shout out on air. Pitch, big swing and a miss. Strike 3. Seymour goes around. And there are 2 away in the top of the 2nd inning. We have U.S. Marine Corps veteran who says, greetings from Charleston, West Virginia, a Dirty Birds fan. Had the chance to go to Charleston on one of the earlier road trips. We won't have the opportunity to travel with the team this time around because of some technical difficulties. But when I went last time, I had a chance to run down by the river. It's the Kanawha River? I might be getting that wrong, and I apologize if I am. Pitch is up and in. It's about a 9-mile route. I did about 6 or so of those miles. It's a great spot. I cannot say enough good things about the city of Charleston. It's not a particularly big city, but the rolling hills in the background, it's right by the river. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball over to third. Diving stop by Wolanski. The flip to second's in time. Alex Merrithew gets some help from his third baseman. Michael Wolanski lays out and gets the lead out at second base. That finishes the top of the 2nd inning. We'll have more information on Charleston and some more shout-outs when we come back on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 2nd inning, first pitch from Ryan Haug. Hard hit line drive to center field. It's a base hit. Anthony Seymour fields it on a hop, and there's a runner on first base with nobody out. Here comes Michael Baca. first base with nobody out for the right-handed hitter. JD West says Ryan hit the ball before the ball could hit him, and I think he's exactly right. Ryan Haug's been hit 22 times this year. That one might have been destined for his arm as well. First pitch called strike to Michael Baca at the belt. Count, no balls and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the second inning. The Blue Crabs have a 3-0 lead. Oh, 1 pitch upcoming to Baca. Here's the offering. Breaking ball, called strike. Count, no balls and 2 strikes. The runner on first base in the bottom of the second inning. Ryan Haug, the short lead off of first. The pitch, ground ball over to short. Could be 2. Goris to second for 1. Back on to first, not in time. Michael Baca runs relatively well down that first baseline and beats it out. It's a fielder's choice. Here comes Jack Sundberg, who will dig in from the left side. Jack Sundberg. First pitch. Big wave and a miss. He falls to that front knee as he swings and misses at the pitch. Runner on first base with 1 out. 3-0 Blue Crabs. 3 runs on 4 hits in the first inning. All 4 of them singles. Blue Crabs picked up their 5th hit here in the second. Another base hit to center field. 0-1 delivery on the ground over towards second base. Kelly fields the flip to second for 1. That's all they'll get. And there are 2 away. Jack Sundberg runs very well down the first baseline, but quickly 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. And here comes Michael Wolanski. Michael Wolanski bats from the right side. 3-0. Blue Crabs over the Dirty Birds. Bottom of the second with the runner on first. It's Jack Sundberg who beat out a fielder's choice. Runs on the first pitch. It's upstairs. Throw to second. Not in time. Sundberg dove in with that left hand. He got it on the base awfully quickly before Diego Goris would have a shot to tag him out. Walker Weichel throws relatively hard. Been throwing 93 to 94 with the fastball so far today. Topped out at 94.2. Runner on second base and 2 outs. Pitch, breaking ball. A little bit away. Count 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs in the second inning. Apologize, our camera or our scoreboard out in left field not updating at all today. Two-0 pitch. Inside, count 3-0. Great point by one of our commenters in the YouTube chat, Peter Worrell, who says that Wolanski's made 2 great plays at third base so far. The most recent one stole a run on a ground ball that was destined for the hole on the left side. He dove toward the second base side as the 3-0 pitch is tapped foul on the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. He's also 1 for 1 in today's ball game as he flared a base hit into right field. Southern Maryland scored 3 runs in the first. 3 runs on 5 hits here in the second inning. The Blue Crabs looking for that first run. 3-1. High pop-up, shallow right field. It's the second baseman Kelly out onto the outfield grass who makes the catch for the final out. Well, Blue Crabs strand 1 at the end of 2. It's the Blue Crabs 3 and the Dirty Birds 0 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. First pitch called strike on Diego Goris to get things started in the top of the third. Blue Crabs lead this one 3-0. Alex Matthew back for his third inning of work. He's allowed just one hit, but he's walked two and he's hit one. Pitch, ground ball over towards shortstop on 3 hops. Right into the glove of Baca. The throw to first, the strong one across the diamond, and there's one away in the top of the third. Here comes Angel Beltre. He walked his first time up. The first inning was a bit of trouble for Alex Matthew. After an initial ground out, he allowed a double, got a pop out before walking a pair. Eventually worked himself out of the inning. The first pitch, a little bit inside, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. A terrific opportunity here for Alex Matthew at large. As he came into this year, he had some trouble out of the bullpen early on. As the pitch called strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike now on Angel Beltre. But his last 2 outings have been outstanding. 3 innings of work at Staten Island, allowed just 1 unearned run. As the pitch is inside, count 2 balls and a strike. He then followed up with 4 2/3 innings in relief of Denson Hull his last time out, and earned a spot in the rotation. The pitch, ground ball toward the middle, just past Belansky, but Baca there to back him up. The throw to first is in time. And 2 up and 2 down, a pair of 6-3 putouts to get things started in the top of the third inning. When you look at the Atlantic League and what the purpose is, there's no question. It's all about trying to get players picked up to that next level. And you look at the logs of the guys who've been picked up, it's always starting pitchers. Even guys like Andres Briseño, who, in my mind, has the velocity, has the stuff to possibly be pitching in Major League Baseball right now. He hasn't been picked up. But we're seeing a lot more starters get those opportunities. Great to see Matthew earn the chance as well. First pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. And the count, no balls and 1 strike on Alfredo Gonzalez. Two away. Pitch, swinging a high pop-up, first base side out of play. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. This is not the first time by any means that Alex Matthew has started a game. This is his 34th start in his career, just his second Atlantic League start. Head on the count, no balls and 2 strikes on Gonzalez. Pitch, swinging a high pop-up yet again, foul territory. DeLuca briefly gives chase, realizes he doesn't have a play on the ball. And it works its way out of play. 3-0 Southern Maryland. Those 3 runs came back in the bottom of the first across 4. Here in the top of the third, and Ernie Burns had 1 hit to short. Was a triple to right center back in the first inning off the bat of Nick Heath. 0-2 pitch, low in the dirt, nicely scooped by Ryan Haug. The count, 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right-handed hitter. Alfredo Gonzalez digs that back right foot back into the batter's box, takes a half swing. Now another, taps home plate once and awaits the offering from Matthew. 1-2 pitch, ground ball to the left side, fielded by Wolanski. He steals Baca's ball, he throws to first. It's in time. Baca stayed in the position that he was going to field it for about 5 seconds after Michael Wolanski threw it to first base. Either way, it's a 1-2-3 inning from Alex Matthew, who continues to work through this Dirty Birds lineup without much trouble. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's the Blue Crabs who have a 3-0 lead over the Dirty Birds. Well, we go to the bottom of the third inning. The Blue Crabs still ahead 3-0. Got some shout-outs to get to in the chat. And the first pitch is upcoming to Zach Collier. Fastball dribbled behind home plate, and the count no balls in 1 strike on Collier. U.S. Marine Corps veteran says as a teenager he loved fishing for carpfish on the Kanawha River. Very strong fish. He says he always catches and releases. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball low, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Peter Worrell says that he's watching from the left field wall. I guess that's on top of the mini monster. Give us a wave if you're still listening. One delivery. Called strike on the inside corner. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rudy says, let's go Dirty Birds. And Dennis Moore, as always, he's watching from his porch in Genoa, Louisiana. The offering to Collier, that's inside. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3-0 Blue Crabs in the bottom of the third. Collier steps back in from the left side. 2-2 pitch. Cut on, hit high in the air, third base side. This one's going to find the seats over toward the Legends Club on top of the concourse. Count remains 2-2. The pitch to Collier, line drive toward the middle, tough play, and it sees its way through the middle. A seeing eye single right between Scott Kelly and Diego Goris. I'm not sure how that found its way to the outfield. It did nonetheless. It's a base hit for Zach Collier. He's 1 for 2 today with an RBI. And here comes Walker. He had a base hit his first time up. That came back in the first inning. Blue Crabs, 3 runs on 6 hits across 2+ innings of work on Walker Weichel. Walker, the cleanup hitter today. Receives the first pitch. It's a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count, no balls and 1 strike. Tonight's lineup has quite a bit of variance from the typical Blue Crabs lineup. Give you a couple of the notes in just a couple minutes, or moments, really. Pitch, up and away, and the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Crabs typically have Jared Walker, not in the 4 spot, but in the 3 spot. And they have David Harris as the cleanup hitter. Harris a little bit under the weather. Nothing too serious, though. Pitch, ground ball toward first base. It's under the glove of Alfredo Gonzalez. Collier from first to third. A tough play for Gonzalez. I'd have to imagine that goes down as a hit. I don't think he actually deflected that ball with his glove. It just went directly under it as he tried to backhand the ball. It's the 7th hit of the day. It's the 7th single for the Blue Crabs. And they're runners on the corners with nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd. The other change for the Blue Crabs is normally they've got Alex Crosby at third base. Crosby out today as well, getting a day off after he had some trouble at the plate last couple of games. But what a consistent hitter he typically is. Runners on the corners, nobody out. First pitch to Braxton Lee. Breaking ball a little bit away in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Blue Crabs 3, Dirty Birds nothing. On a day that's had intermittent rain, sometimes heavy, sometimes light. The tarp went on the field twice. The tarp came off the field twice. Pitch, ground ball, first base side. Another base hit through the right side. It scores Collier. The Blue Crabs have a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Braxton Lee with a base hit. Meanwhile, Walker from first to second. Collier comes in from 3rd. It's a 4-0 start for Southern Maryland. Well, Braxton Lee has 2 RBIs, base hit now. And it's Joe DeLuca who comes to the plate. Blue Crabs, 4 runs on 8 hits, 8 singles. No extra base hits for the Blue Crabs so far in this one. As Walker Weichel does not have an out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The struggles have compounded. First pitch, low and in. It gets away from the catcher, Yovan Gonzalez. Meanwhile, Walker to 3rd and Lee to 2nd. 2 in scoring position with nobody out. Now, Walker Weichel has certainly had his troubles today. 4 runs, 8 hits. That most recent one, a wild pitch. And he's thrown just 2+ innings. A base hit here from DeLuca could give the Blue Crabs a very comfortable 6-0 advantage. Meanwhile, Merrithew, 3 innings, just 1 hit, and he's walked 2. Infield has moved in. First pitch, big wave, or 1-0 pitch, I should say, is a big wave and a miss on a breaking ball. It keeps DeLuca off balance, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Two on, nobody out for the Blue Crabs. Pitch. Big swing and a miss yet again, and it sends DeLuca down to 1 knee. I think he wanted extra bases. The Blue Crabs don't have an extra base hit today. 3 runs in the first, 1 run in the second, or 1 run in the third, I should say. That's where we stand now. It's a 4-0 Blue Crabs lead. Weichel worked out of trouble in the 2nd inning. The runner stranded on second base. That was Ryan Haug. Pitch upstairs. Count 2-2 now on the big lefty. DeLuca at the plate. Raul Shaw on deck for the Blue Crabs. He'll be followed by Ryan Haug. Pitch to DeLuca, swing and a miss. Breaking ball gets DeLuca swinging, and there's one away in the bottom of the third inning. A healthy diet of breaking balls. It's all Joe DeLuca has been receiving from Walker Weichel since his base hit in the first. And here comes Raul Shah. Raul Shah still using that blue bat with the light blue jerseys. 2 on base for the Blue Crabs with 1 away. First pitch is a called strike, and the count no balls and 1 strike. Well, nice day for some baseball. There was rain that came through. Right around 2 o'clock is when it was its heaviest. There were some questions as to whether we'll be able to get the game in tonight, but the field was properly tarped, no issues. The pitch, wave and a miss, Shah way behind that one. And the count 0-2 as Walker Weichel's fastball sizzles past Shah's bat. Lee from second. It's Walker from third. They advanced bases on a wild pitch from Walker in the last at-bat to Joe DeLuca, who later struck out. 2 in scoring position with 1 out, 4-0 Blue Crabs. A check swing on a pitch in the dirt, but Shah went around. He bites at that pitch, and it's back-to-back strikeouts for Walker. 2 remain in scoring position with 2 outs as Ryan Haug comes to the plate. Haug digs in. Weichel set. First pitch. Upstairs, count 1-0. Ryan Haug with a base hit his last time up. Line drive single to center. He'd like to do the same here as the 1-0 pitch chases away and the count 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the third inning. Two 2-0 delivery to Ryan Haug, called strike on the outside corner from the home plate umpire, Rob Massaro. Massaro behind the plate, Burish at first, that's Jerry Burish. And Bill the Skill Worthington, that is. He's over at third base, stands right now right by the shortstop. As in the Atlantic League, there are only 2 field umpires. One at first, one at third. They've got to move around depending on where they are. Pitch to Haug, check swing. They motion down to first base, and Burish says he went around. I think it's pretty clear he did. No contest from Ryan Haug. And the catcher digs back in. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch, called, strike, 3. Breaking ball breaks on the inner half. And Ryan Haug goes down on strikes. He has some words for Rob Massaro. Not a big fan of that last call. But either way, that ends the bottom of the third inning. Blue Crabs picked up 3 more hits in the inning. They had 2 in scoring position with no outs. Neither one came home, but the Blue Crabs did score 1 earlier in the inning. They leave this one 4-0 as we go to the top of the 4th. Well, 6, 7, and 8 will come to the plate in the top of the 8th inning. First pitch is away for ball 1 from Alex Merrithew. Blue Crabs 4, Dirty Birds nothing, top of the 4th inning. 1-0 pitch to the righty. Called strike. And the count 1-1. Scott Bertram followed by Corey Bird and Yovan Gonzalez. Pitch, big wave and a miss. Breaking ball low and out of the zone. And the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Blue Crabs with 4 runs on 8 hits for the Dirty Birds. No runs on 1 hit. Pitch, line drive, fouled off, first base side. Base path's empty as Bertram leads things off in the first. Thank you to all the fans tuning in. We apologize we don't have our traditional score bug on the screen. We have a couple of technology issues we're working through. The pitch, check swing, the motion down to first. And the first base umpire, Jerry Burrish, says that Scott Bertram held up. Was a check swing. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch from Merrithew. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Right to Wolanski. He fields, controls the belt. He fires to first. 1 away. 3 1/3 innings for Alex Merrithew. 4-0 the Blue Crabs lead. Merrithew's allowed just 1 hit so far. He has walked 2. He's also hit a batter. But thus far, it's been a solid performance from the righty. First pitch from Merrithew. Swinging a high pop-up. Left field side. It tails out of play toward the Legends Club. The count, no balls and 1 strike on the lefty, Corey Bird. Bird was hit by a pitch his last time up. Pitch, that one a little bit inside, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Southern Maryland has a 4-0 lead. They could have used a couple of insurance runs back in the bottom of the 3rd. Had 2 runners in scoring position and no outs, but Walker Weichel with a trio of consecutive strikeouts to end the inning. 1-1 pitch. Dribbled foul, first base side. Now, Tanya Rucker mentions that it's time to get the toaster out. Now, she's referring to the Toast Man in West Virginia. Now, if the Toast Man is watching, please write that you're watching in the YouTube chat. 1-2 pitch, swinging a high fly ball, deep left center field. Back to the warning track at the wall. That ball is caught. It was the center fielder, Jack Sundberg, who gave way to the left fielder, Jared Walker, who made that catch at the wall in front of the Blackstone management sign to rob extra bases and possibly a home run from Corey Bird. We're seeing some of the best hit balls all day. That probably was the best hit ball from Corey Bird going the other way, but tracked down from Jared Walker at the wall. First pitch called strike on the outside corner. The count, no balls and 1 strike now. Oh, 1 offering. Swinging a high pop-up, shallow right field. Braxton Lee moves in. He makes the catch. Well, it didn't come all that easy. A long fly out from Corey Bird, but Merrithew yet again sends down the Dirty Birds in order. 1, 2, 3. We're finished with 3.5 from the Reg in Waldorf. Blue Crabs coming to bat in the bottom of the 4th with a 4-0 lead when we come back. Well, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch from Walker Weichel, swinging a high fly ball, right field, not all that deep. As the right fielder, Nick Heath, makes the catch about 5 steps back over toward right center. And there's one away. Michael Baca sent down on one pitch. Well, Walker Weichel had run himself into quite the jam after just 2+ innings of work. Allowed 3 consecutive hits. Braxton Lee drove in an RBI single. But then he had 3 consecutive strikeouts. Joe DeLuca, Raul Shaw, and Ryan Haug. Each went down by way of the K to end the third, and he's got 1 pitch and 1 out here in the fourth. First pitch now to Jack Sundberg is away, but it clips the outside corner for a strike, in the count 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Slowing away in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out in the 5th inning. Or bottom of the 4th inning, I should say. 1-1, it's a little bit away in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, for the Blue Crabs, Alex Merrithew, he struck out just 2, but he's allowed just 1 hit and no runs through 4 innings. 2 walks and a hit batsman to go along with it, but the 2-1 pitch. High fly ball, left field. It's the left fielder, Corey Bird, who takes 3 steps back toward the warning track where he makes a catch right around head high for the 2nd out. 2 up, 2 down, a couple of flyouts for the Blue Crabs in the bottom of the 4th inning. They lead this one 4-0. 3 runs in the first, 1 run in the third. As Michael Wolanski digs in from the right side. Blue Crabs have 4 runs on 8 hits, 8 singles for that matter. They've come in bunches though, and it's paid off for the Blue Crabs. First pitch to Wolanski, swinging a line drive, first base side, soaring foul. Well, rain has given way to sun. It's a nice day for baseball. Not perfect, but all things considered, based on the way things were, it's pretty darn nice. 0-1 pitch, called strike on the outside corner on Michael Wolanski. Base paths are empty. Southern Maryland did not pick up a hit. For the last 3 batters in the 3rd inning, they went down via strikeouts. Here in the 4th, this one swinging a ground ball over toward first. Could be a tough play, but it's the first baseman, Gonzalez, who slides into the bag after fielding it to make the final out. Beating Wolanski to the bag. Weichel might not have gotten there before Wolanski. Was going to be a foot race. Gonzalez picked the ball up after he dove to stop it and slid to the first base bag for the final out. Well, Southern Maryland goes down in order. It's 6 consecutive retired from Walker Weichel at the end of 4 innings of play. The Blue Crabs 4 and the Dirty Birds 0. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. top five, Blue Crabs have a 4-0 lead over the Dirty Birds. Alex Merrithew back out onto the mound for the Blue Crabs. First pitch, a little bit away for ball one. Alex Merrithew has seen his ERA dip below 4 for the time being at 3.70. 4 innings of scoreless baseball from the righty. 1-0 pitch, chop foul, third base side, right over towards the Blue Crabs bullpen before taking a hard ricochet back into play. Bradley Roney there to track it down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Merrithew set. He now steps off the rubber. Steps back on. Merrithew has thrown 74 pitches. 1-1 pitch. Shows bunt, pulls back, and the count 2 balls and a strike. On the day, Alex Merrithew, 4 innings of work. 1 hit, 3 walks. He struck out 2. Behind in the count 2-1 for now, though. On Scott Kelly, the 9-hitter. 2-1. Swinging a high fly ball. Rather well hit to center field, but it's right at Jack Sundberg, who took 2 steps back, now about 5 steps in, and makes the catch for the first out. 1 away in the top of the 5th inning. Back to the top of the lineup, Anthony Seymour. He steps in from the right side. Well, Alex Merrithew has retired 9 straight batters as Seymour digs in from the left side. First pitch, breaking ball, called strike. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Merrithew's pitched to contact today. There have been some hard-hit ground balls and a very hard-hit fly ball to left center. But everything's been tracked down thus far. 0-1 pitch, hard hit to the first base side. Count, no balls and 2 strikes. Base paths are empty with 1 away in the 5th. 0-2 delivery, breaking ball, 2-hopper over to short. Fielded on the backhand by Baca. Strong throw, it's a high throw, but caught by DeLuca. And he steps on the bag in time to get Anthony Seymour. And there are 2 away into the top of the 5th inning. Blue Crabs 4, Dirty Birds nothing. Here comes Nick Heath. Draws a line in the dirt with his bat. Taps each of his cleats once and digs in. 2 away, top of the 5th. Blue Crabs have a 4-0 lead. First pitch from Merrithew, big wave and a miss. Deflected off of the shin guard of Haug and then off the cleat. And the count is no balls and 1 strike on Nick Heath. There are back-to-back triples from Heath, spanning 2 games. Last night, a triple off of Matt Latos drove in a pair of runs. In today's game, an RBI, just a regular triple, I should say, to right center. 0-1, wave and a miss, fastball beat him upstairs, and the count 0-2. Heath roped one to right center toward the outdoor creation sign. Enough to get him 3 bases. Dave Martin, the Blue Crabs clubhouse manager, made himself known in the YouTube chat. We'll get to some more of those comments and a trivia question coming to you shortly. Trivia question comes in the top of the 6th. 79th pitch coming from Alex Merrithew, and it misses away in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Nick Heath. Merrithew can get through this inning. the next 5 pitches or so. You have to think he's got a good shot at going 6. 1-2, line drive, hard hit, left side, foul. Over toward the Blue Crabs bullpen. It tailed toward the end of it. Ended up being about 10 feet foul toward that left field line. Merrithew throwing 93, 94 today. It's good velocity for a starter, especially in the Atlantic League. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 11 in a row retired by Alex Merrithew. That's his 3rd strikeout. He's gone 5 innings, allowed just 1 hit and no runs. He's rolling. The Blue Crabs have a 4-0 lead after 4.5. Stick with us. Well, Zach Collier comes to the plate, bottom 5, 4-0. The Blue Crabs lead the Dirty Birds. First pitch coming from Walker Weinkel. It's a little bit low and away, the count 1-0. Merrithew has gone 81 pitches. He's thrown 50 strikes. 5 innings of work, 3 strikeouts. He's walked 3 but allowed just 1 hit. 1-0 pitch called strike on a breaking ball on the count 1-1. Not to mention he's retired 11 consecutive batters. Has not allowed a hit since the 2nd. Pitch inside. Count 2 balls and no strikes on Zach Collier. Collier wipes the sweat off his face. Steps back in from the left side. 2-0. Ground ball, first base side, foul. Count 2 balls and 1 strike on the lefty Collier. Collier 1 for 2 today as an RBI and a base hit. Came around and scored a pair of runs. Couple of partial swings from Collier. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball. It's right at the shortstop, Diego Goris, who is playing toward the middle. He fields and fires to first in time to get Collier by a few steps. And there's 1 away in the bottom of the 5th. Blue Crabs, 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st, 1 run in the bottom of the 3rd. That's all the scoring this ball game has had. As we're currently in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dirty Birds been held to 1 hit all night. as Jared Walker will step in. First pitch, breaking ball. A little bit up. Count 1-0. Weichel the pitch. Another called strike. Count 1-1 strike on Jared Walker. One delivery, up and in. Count 2-1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom 5, it's 4-0 Southern Maryland. Weichel the 2-1. Big wave and a miss. Count 2-2 on Walker. Two balls, 1 strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, I should say, with 1 out. Here's the pitch from Walker Weichel. Ground ball toward first. Fielded on the backhand by Gonzalez. The flip to the pitcher. Weichel is in time, and there are 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brings up Braxton Lee, who will step in from the left side. Braxton Lee is 1 for 2 today. Couple of RBIs to his name. Only player in this ball game with multiple RBIs in the game. First pitch, wave and a miss. Walker Weichel keeps him off balance for the breaking ball. And Weichel, to say he settled down would be an understatement. He's retired 8 consecutive Blue Crabs. Trio of strikeouts in the 3rd. And retired the next 5 batters as well. 0-1 pitch up and away. Count 1-1. Braxton Lee looks to end that streak. 1-1 pitch. Low. Count 2-1. One delivery, line drive, left side, base hit. We mentioned moments ago, let's see if Braxton Lee can break that streak. He does just that, as he ropes a base hit to the left side. Runner on first base with 2 outs. Braxton Lee's batting average inches up to 300 with that single. A 2 for 3 day for Braxton Lee, along with 2 RBIs. Joe DeLuca 1 for 2 today. He's batting .291 on the season. Braxton Lee by no means known for his power. He's a contact guy, and that's what he's done so far this evening. On the other hand, Joe DeLuca, more of a power guy. This one swinging a ground ball to the right side. It's fielded by the second baseman, Scott Kelly, on the run. He flips to first. It's in time to get the power-hitting switch hitter, Joe DeLuca, who grounds out to second base. That ends the 5th inning. The Blue Crabs put a hit on the board, but they strand 1 at the end of 5. It's 4-0 Blue Crabs. Stick with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. The first pitch is low and away for ball one on Diego Goris. Got a trivia question for you. That'll be coming in just a couple of moments. First pitch, swinging a high pop-up. Shallow left center. It's the center fielder Sundberg who calls off Walker and makes the catch for the first down. Here comes Engel Beltre. We've got a geography trivia question, or at least kind of a geography trivia question for you. We'll write it in the YouTube chat in just a couple of moments. John Kruk, he's got 1170 as far as MLB hits, 100 career home runs. You can find him on ESPN all the time. 0-1 delivery, tapper over towards second base. Shaw backs up to field this one. He fires to first, 2 up and 2 down. Again, John Kruk, 1,170 MLB hits. He's got 100 career home runs. Where was he born? That's the question. Some geography, and it is related to these teams. And Alfredo Gonzalez comes to the plate. Where was John Kruk born? He's got 100 home runs, 1170 hits. You can catch him all the time on national TV. The question, where is he from? Where was he born? I'll give you the answer to that question at the end of the 6th inning. If you have the answer to the question, write it in the YouTube chat. First pitch, a wave and a miss from Alfredo Gonzalez, who bats from the right side. Alex Marathieu. That was the 86th pitch he's thrown of the outing. 0-1. A little bit outside. Count 1-1. Marathieu's been electric in the later innings. This trivia question comes courtesy of Blaine Pilkerton. 1-1 delivery. It's dotted foul, third base side. Count 1-2. Well, Alex Marathieu, let's just go back through his last 3 appearances. Against Staten Island, 3 innings, 2 hits, an unearned run. He struck out 1. Pitch, this one, ground ball, hard hit, third base side. It's going to go for extra bases. Jared Walker quickly fields. He fires in to second base. It's a little bit offline. The first baseman, DeLuca, there for backup. It's a 2-out double. And there's a runner on second base with 2 outs as Alfredo Gonzalez hits a 1-2 pitch down that third base line. It's just the second hit of the day for the Dirty Birds. And here comes Scott Burcham with 2 outs in the 6th. Just to go back over those numbers. 3 innings, an unearned run against Staten Island. Against York, 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits. No walks or hit batsmen. He struck out 6. Today, 5 2/3, 2 hits. He's walked 3. Pitch, called strike, outside corner. This time the 6-hitter, Corey Bird. Oh, 1 pitch. Big wave and a miss. Count 0-2. Count, no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Pitch, line drive, hard hit, first base side on Burcham. Beg your pardon, Corey Bird is on deck. Burcham at the plate right now. No balls and 2 strikes on the righty. Marathieu worked himself into a bit of trouble with that double. By far the most pitches he's thrown in a game this year. He threw 69 pitches in his last outing against York, threw 45 the time prior. He's at 91 now. Pitch, just away. Count 1 and 2. Bertram played in AAA last year, but on the year this season, he's hitting just .227. One-two delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bertram goes down via breaking ball. 6 innings of work for Alex Merrithew. He allows just 2 hits. He's walked 3, and he's kept the Dirty Birds off the board. We're finished with 5.5. It's 4-0 Southern Maryland. First pitch to Raul Shah on the ground over toward first base. It's fielded by Gonzalez. The flip back to Walker Weinkel is in time. Bottom of the 6th inning, it's 4-0 Blue Crabs. Walker Weinkel with 1 pitch and 1 out to Raul Shah. And Ryan Howe comes to the plate. Again, our question about John Kruk. He had 100 home runs in his career, 1,170 hits. Where is he from? Where was he born? Technically, there are 2 different answers. Dave Martin, a native of West Virginia, has given us one of those answers. We'll get to that in just a moment. First pitch is low and away, and the count 1-0. Now, I might be pronouncing this wrong, but he grew up in Keyser, West Virginia. .1-0 pitch, it's a little away. Count 2 balls and no strikes. That much is right. The question, though, where was he born? We got where is he grew up. He grew up in Keyser, but let's see if, or Kaiser. Pitch to Howe is swung on and driven into left field. It's a base hit. Runner on first with 1 out. After the base hit from Ryan Howe, it's his 2nd hit of the day. He's having some trouble with the plate coming into this one, hitting just a touch below 270, but he roped that one into left, had a single earlier in this ballgame. It's the 10th hit of the day for the Blue Crabs. All 10 are singles. Dirty Birds have 2 hits. They've got a double and a triple. So let's see if we can get the birthplace of John Kruk. Pitch, that one runs upstairs. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes on Ryan Haug. I beg your pardon, on Michael Baca. Haug on first base for the Blue Crabs. Followed by Jack Sundberg, the leadoff man for Southern Maryland. 1-0 delivery. Lined back to the netting, count 1-1. Cody Miller says, put some respect on that on-base percentage. He makes a great point. This is with regard to Ryan Haug, who's had a terrific year as far as getting on base. The 22 hit-by pitches have really helped him out this year in that department. He has an on-base percentage, or had coming in, at .457. Pitch, breaking ball, a little bit inside. Count 2 balls and a strike on Baca. Michael Baca, I beg your pardon, Ryan Haug does not qualify. Hasn't played quite enough games, I guess, to qualify, as the 2-1 pitch is fought off foul, first base side. But among qualified hitters, he would have the best on-base percentage in the league. Alejandro De Aza with Long Island has .457, and Ryan Haug had .457 coming into this ballgame. 1 on, 1 out, count 2-2 on Baca. The Blue Crabs lead this one 4-0. Pitch, ground ball, 3-hopper to second, could be 2, on to second for 1, back to first, a double play. A 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. The answer to our trivia question, where is John Kruk from? He's from Charleston, West Virginia. It's 4-0 Blue Crabs, though. Dirty Birds coming to the plate in the top of the 7th. A new pitcher coming in when we come back. against the Blue Crabs relief pitcher, Bradley Roney. Well, Bradley Roney may have some of the best stuff in the entire league. Blue Crabs bullpen has been dominant. Roney had a bit of a tough go in the month of May as the 0-1 pitch is fouled away, third base side, count 0-2. But he's really settled things down more recently. He got a big looping curveball and a fastball that comes in around 95. Roney set. Across the final 9 1/3 innings, so the last 10 1/3 really, he's not allowed to run. He's allowed just 3 hits and 1 walk in the last 10 1/3. It's been that good for Bradley Roney. A whip of under .4. 0-1 delivery, low and in, count 1 ball and 1 strike. This is a guy that has AA and AAA experience. 1-1 pitch, or 1-2 pitch inside on Corey Bird. West Virginia Power Mom says he grew up in Kaiser. Yes, we've been over this. That was also posted earlier. He grew up in Kaiser. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Goes in the dirt, and Howe picks it up, fires to first. There's 1 away. The Landon's Ices and Creams coupon. The top of the 7th. Yovan Gonzalez will come to the plate as he bats from the right side. Yovan Gonzalez wears 44. He bats 8th in the Dirty Birds order. First pitch from Bradley Roney. Swinging a high pop-up in the infield. Roney calls everyone off. Oh, he dropped it. He called everyone else off. He said he had it. Went into his glove, went out of his glove. That's why I don't see pitchers call everybody off usually. And you could hear him say, I got it, I got it. It came down and didn't go all that well for Bradley Roney. It's an error against the pitcher. It's one he should have had. DeLuca was coming in. He was going to make the catch, but instead Roney called him off and he made an error. Runner on first base with 1 out. Here comes Scott Kelly. That's one that Bradley Roney will look back on and think, maybe I should have given it to my infielder. Scott Kelly bats from the right side. Bradley Roney recorded 1 out here in the 7th. Should have been 2 up and 2 down, but instead a runner on first base, pitch called strike at the knees, count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Top 7 Blue Crabs have a 4-0 lead. 3 runs in the first inning, 1 run in the 3rd inning. And here we are in the 7th. Dirty Birds have just 2 hits, both of which are extra base hits. 0-1 pitch. High pop-up, foul territory, long run for DeLuca, who's going to run out of room as that one finds its way over the Dirty Birds dugout. Count 0-2. Bradley Roney's ERA at 3.86. The number to look at tonight, the ERA for Alex Merrithew, 3.42. After tonight's stellar performance, 6 innings, allows 2 hits. He walks 3, he strikes out 4. Pitch, low and away, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes now. We thank all the fans for tuning in tonight. Those of you from West Virginia, those of you from Maryland, those of you watching from some location other than those 2 states. Whether you're a fan of the Blue Crabs, a fan of the Atlantic League, we appreciate your being with us. Pitch, a little bit low, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top 7. Blue Crabs have out-hit the Dirty Birds 10-2 and lead 4-0. Pitch from Roney, swinging a high fly ball, shallow left field. Walker comes in toward the infield and makes the catch for the 2nd out. So after an error on Roney, it's a runner on first base and 2 outs. It's back to the top of the order for Anthony Seymour. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Seymour bats from the left side. Roney, first pitch, up and away, ball 1. Well, while Marathew was stellar throughout the evening, Walker Weichel settled down in a major way across the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and even in the 3rd as well. As the pitch, swinging a high fly ball, straight away center field. It's Sundberg who trots in a few steps and makes the catch for the final out. Bradley Roney commits an error, but retires the West Virginia, or the South, I beg your pardon, the Charleston Dirty Birds. In order from there, you go to the bottom of the 8th, bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch here in Waldorf. I might need a stretch as well. The Blue Crabs lead this one 4-0. We're back to the top of the order for the Blue Crabs in the bottom of the 7th. 4-0. Southern Maryland leads the Dirty Birds. Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, 4 runs on 10 hits. For the Dirty Birds, no runs on 2 hits. First pitch way inside. on Jack Sundberg in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. Fans, for the next 2 games of this series, Blue Crabs will not have the broadcast for that game. So tune in with West Virginia. You can join their broadcast across the next 2 games when the Blue Crabs go on the road in Charleston. I will not be traveling with the team because of the technical difficulties we've been experiencing over the last couple of days. Pitch, foul back. One ball, 1 strike, nobody on in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-0 the Blue Crabs over the Dirty Birds. Pitch, called strike, outside corner, count 1-2. Count 1-2 as Sundberg restraps the batting gloves. Touches his batting helmet. One-two offering. Swinging a ground ball toward first, rolls to the glove of Gonzalez. He flips back to the pitcher, who makes the play for the final out, for the first out. Tanner Duncan, the new pitcher in the game for the Charleston Dirty Birds. And here comes Michael Wolanski. Wolanski, a right-handed hitter. He's got 1 hit today. Wolanski takes a couple of half swings. First pitch low and away. Count 1 ball and no strikes on Wolanski. Tanner Duncan, the new pitcher. First pitch, or 1-0 pitch, ground ball up the middle for a base hit. 11th hit for the Blue Crabs. It's their 11th single. Not something you see every day. 11 hits, all of them are singles. But that's the case tonight. Wolanski, a 2-for-4 day. His batting average pops back over 200, or 400, 300, I should say. Here comes Zach Collier. We apologize for some of the spam bots that have entered our YouTube chat. Try to take care of those as soon as possible. Pitch, line drive, deep center field. Back to the warning track. That ball is off the batter's eye. Fielded by the center fielder, Seymour. Quickly, throw to the plate is not in time. The tag from the catcher, Jovan Gonzalez, missed Jared Walker. Or I beg your pardon, that's Michael Wolanski. Jared Walker coming to the plate next. It's an RBI double from Zach Collier, who rocketed that ball to the center field batter's eye. It's the 12th hit for the Blue Crabs. It took 12 of them before the Blue Crabs finally registered their first extra base hit. 5-0 Blue Crabs. They score a run on the RBI double from Collier as Jared Walker will come to the plate. Well, Zach Collier, 2-for-4, driven in 2 RBIs, also scored 2 runs tonight. First pitch to Walker, wave and a miss. Count, no balls and 1 strike. We thank everybody for tuning in and watching tonight's broadcast on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We apologize we do not have our full stream up and running tonight. Pitch, line drive towards second. A great play by the shortstop. That's Scott Kelly, who makes the catch and nearly tags second base, but a little late getting there. And so there are 2 outs Ball looked like it was tailor-made up the middle, but instead, a strong stop over at shortstop, nearly doubling off the runner on second base. That's Michael Wolanski, or beg your pardon, Zach Collier, who drove in Wolanski. Blue Crabs 5 runs on 12 hits. Here's Braxton Lee. First pitch to Lee, called strike at the knees. Bottom 7. Southern Maryland's added a run. It's 5-0 after the RBI double from Zach Collier that scored Michael Wolanski. Pitch upstairs. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. A terrific evening in Southern Maryland. It wasn't beautiful all day. There was lots of rain, some clouds mixed in, but the temperatures are perfect for baseball today. 1-1 driven foul, third base side over the Legends Club. Dennis Moore says he's been accosted by West Virginia Dirty Birds. Pitch, line drive yet again, foul to the third base side, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, the Blue Crabs have a 5-0 lead over the Charleston Dirty Birds. For Southern Maryland, 3 runs in the first, 1 in the third, and 1 in the 7th. Tanner Duncan looks to put down the Blue Crabs. 1-2, runs inside and gets away from Braxton Lee. Meanwhile, Collier advances to third base. So a runner on third now with 2 outs. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not seeing any action in the Blue Crabs bullpen, which seems to indicate that Bradley Roney might be coming back out for his second inning of work. Matt Latos went last night, allowed 2 runs. Tying run made its way all the way to third base before the Blue Crabs managed to get out of the inning. 2-2 pitch upcoming to Braxton Lee. Offering, swinging a high fly ball. Somewhat lazily hit towards left. He has no idea where it is. It bounces behind him. It's going to be extra bases for Braxton Lee as the left fielder, Corey Bird, totally lost it. Didn't lose it in the sun. He must have lost it in the lights. It's an RBI double from Braxton Lee. Look, he'll take him any way he'll get him. It's the second extra base hit in as many hits. Scores a run. The Blue Crabs with 2 runs here in the inning. 6-0 Southern Maryland as Zach Collier scores from third. Collier with an RBI double that scored Wolanski earlier in the inning. And Braxton Lee lifts one to left, deep left, drives in Zach Collier. It's a 6-0 Blue Crabs advantage. Here comes Joe DeLuca with 2 outs in the 7th. First pitch, low and in on the switch hitting first baseman. Count 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 pitch upcoming. Here's the offering. Foul back, count 1-1. Be interesting to see what the pitching looks like for the next 2 innings for the Blue Crabs. You have to think Roney goes in the 8th because no one's warming up. For the 6-0 lead, I can see the Blue Crabs maybe going to Dario Polanco for the 9th. Getting him some work. One pitch, low and in, count 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. As Braxton Lee leads off of second base. Weichel Pitch. Ground ball towards short. Fielded on the forehand by Goris. He fires to first, and that ends the inning. Blue Crabs put up 2 runs, an RBI double from Zach Collier and an RBI double from Braxton Lee. The Blue Crabs have a 6-0 lead as we go to the top of the 8th. Bradley Roney back out for the top of the 8th inning. 6-0 Blue Crabs. First pitch to Nick Heath runs inside. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. There's a little bit of action in the Blue Crabs bullpen. From this angle, it's very tough to see who's up and throwing. We'll get you word as soon as we have it. Pitch up and away. And the count 2 balls and no strikes. Mentioned earlier, I thought Dario Polanco might get a shot. But right now, it's tough to see who's really going to go. Merrithew moved from the bullpen to the rotation. 2-0 pitch, called strike on Nick Heath. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one delivery, a little bit up and away. Count 3 balls and 1 strike on Heath. And all of a sudden, Bradley Roney falling behind in the count. Not something Roney's all that accustomed to. He traditionally gets ahead in the count and uses his fastball and breaking pitches to work off of that. Might be Patrick Baker up and warming. 3-1 pitch, foul back, first base side. Count 3-2 is not throwing particularly hard at all. Baker went 1 inning on Sunday night. Blue Crabs didn't have the off day yesterday, which also takes a tax on the bullpen. And not to mention they had a bullpen day on Sunday. 3 innings from Geeky, 3 innings from Wells. 3-2 pitch upstairs and outside. It's ball 4. Top of the 8th. Runner on first base. So a walk for Heath as Diego Goris will come to the plate. Another pitcher, or not pitcher, but position player who throws really hard, off the mound even. Braxton Lee. We know he's got a cannon from right field, but off the mound he can throw mid-90s. But it's his bat that's really stood out across his career. Even giving him a taste at the MLB level. Pitch. Line drive up the middle, base hit. Diego Goris goes up the middle. Over his last 11 1/3 innings, Bradley Roney has allowed 3 hits and 1 walk. In this first 2 batters alone, he's allowed a hit and a walk. They're 2 on and nobody out. Angel Beltre will come to the plate. Patrick Baker now up and warming. He's starting to throw a little bit harder now. I think the initial intent was probably to bring him in the 9th. But Roney seems to be struggling a little bit here in the 8th. As Angel Beltre steps in. First pitch, swinging a high pop-up. Shallow right field. Long run for Braxton Lee. He's under it. He makes the catch. Throw into third base. A strong one. Wolanski ends up playing it on a hop behind the bag, and Roney backed him up just in case. No one's going anywhere with the arm of Braxton Lee in right field. 2 on, 1 out. Top 8. As Alfredo Gonzalez comes to the plate. Thank everybody for joining us tonight. We always appreciate all of our viewers on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Blue Crabs 6, Dirty Birds nothing. Blue Crabs will go on the road for 2 days. First pitch is low and in. Alfredo Gonzalez starts hopping around in the righty batter's box. 2 on, 1 out, 6-0 Blue Crabs. With Alfredo Gonzalez at the plate. It was Nick Heath who started the inning with a walk. Diego Goris followed it up with a base hit. Pop out from Angel Beltre, and here is Alfredo Gonzalez. Ryan Haug trots out to have a quick talk with Bradley Roney. Imagine they're discussing signs right now with the runner in scoring position and 1 out. Patrick Baker continues to warm in the Blue Crabs bullpen. Have to wonder how long the leash is going to be on Bradley Roney tonight. Roney gets a sign from the catcher Haug. Blue Crabs have been working with 7 relievers this season. 1-0 pitch, line drive foul, back behind home plate. They were working with 8 consistently, but it's been down to 7, especially with Merrithew moving from the bullpen to the starting rotation. And with Polanco playing only every week or two, there is only a contingency of 6 main guys. We're seeing Briseño Latos traditionally 8 and 9. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, check swing. Haug quickly to the ball, and Gonzalez checks his swing. Apparently he went around, though. They motioned down to first base. And it's the first base umpire, Jerry Burrish, who said he went. Count 1 and 2 now on Gonzalez. Back to that last point, though. Blue Crabs have gone Briseño Latos 8 and 9. Then you're seeing Roney, we're seeing Baker, Geeky, and Nick Wells as the other 4 pitchers. And all 6 of them are not only strong options, they're really outstanding options. If you look around the Atlantic League, those 6 guys would all be in either 8th or 9th inning roles. Roney looks back the runner at second base. It's Nick Heath. 1-2 pitch incoming on Gonzalez. Ground ball towards short. Fielded by Baca. Throw to second for one. Shaw does not have a play at first base. So he holds on to the ball. There are two away now with runners on the corners in the top of the eighth inning. Blue Crabs 6 and the Dirty Birds nothing. Blue Crabs 3 runs in the first, 1 run in the third, and 2 runs in the seventh inning. Bertram digs in from the right side with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Bradley Roney finding himself in trouble for the first time in 12 innings. First pitch fouled back to the netting in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Alex Marathew went 6 innings tonight. Scoreless, 2 hits, 3 walks. He hit a batter. Traditionally, the hits have plagued Marathew. Tonight, they did not. Meanwhile, the Blue Crabs bats have picked up the slack. 13 hits in tonight's ball game. They provided 6 runs. 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the seventh. Top of the eighth, runner goes, 0-1 pitch, wave and a miss. And the count 0-2. The runner on first base, Alfredo Gonzalez, takes second uncontested on what will likely be called defensive indifference. The pitch was in the dirt. I'm not sure that Haug would have had any play anyway. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top 8. Roney set. 0-2 pitch. Low and away, nearly skipped past the catcher, Ryan Haug. He fielded that ball about 1.5 feet in the air after it bounced in front of home plate. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bradley Roney will throw his 28th pitch of his outing. One-two pitch upcoming to Bertram. Roney shakes off his catcher Haug. He's set. Home plate umpire. He's not set. That's Rob Massaro, who says, well, let's take our time here. Took a little too long trying to figure everything out. So we reset. Count 1 and 2 with 2 on and 2 out. 2 runners in scoring position now. 1-2 bounces in front of the plate. It gets away from Haug. Wild pitch from Bradley Roney. The run's going to score. So it's a 6-1 game as Bradley Roney allows a run on a wild pitch. He'd been throwing a lot of pitches low in the dirt. This was a consistent theme for Roney. And finally, he has to pay the price. Ryan Haug had done an admirable job keeping those pitches in front of him, but that one gets away. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes on Scott Bertram. 3 straight off-speed pitches. Fastball at 94 to get things going before a trio of sliders. All 3 of them have been low. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball toward third. Wolanski fields the belt. Strong throw to first. It's in time. Well, Bradley Roney surrenders a run. It's the first run of the day for the Dirty Birds. The Blue Crabs have started off the second half on the right foot. It's 6-1 Blue Crabs as we go to the bottom of the 8th. First pitch, big wave and a miss from Raul Shah. And the count, no balls and one strike on the righty. Blue Crabs 6 and the Charleston Dirty Birds 1. Bottom of the 8th inning. Be interesting to see which direction the Blue Crabs go in as far as the bullpen in the top of the 9th. They've got a lot of action. And the pitch, big swing and a miss at a pitch that was well out of the zone. The count, no balls and 2 strikes. Raul Shah working with a bit of a different batting stance he was telling me about recently. He's got some cool cleats as well. Different colored cleats on different feet. But he's not taking as much of a step in. Instead, it's more of a change in weight distribution. As the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, chases a couple of pitches out of the zone, and there's one away in the bottom of the 8th inning. A lot of times players struggle with trying to get their foot down at the right time. So Shah just eliminated the leg kick altogether, instead opting to shift that weight more, as Ryan Haug will step in. Tanner Duncan on the mound still for Charleston. He's got an inning and a third. Allowed 2 runs. He's thrown 22 pitches and 16 strikes. First pitch is away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch to Haug, popped up behind home plate. And gets out of play overhead in the press box. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ryan Haug. The base paths are empty in the bottom of the 8th inning. We appreciate everybody tuning in from Charleston, West Virginia to Waldorf, Maryland, and anywhere in between, or north or south or east or west. Duncan, pitch, upstairs. Count 2 balls and 1 strike on Ryan Haug. Blue Crabs have 13 hits tonight. First 11 of them were singles. The next 2 have been extra base hits. The extra base hits, one from Braxton Lee on a fly ball to left that should have been caught. The other one on a deep fly ball to center. Pitch now to Haug. It's away. 3 balls and 1 strike on the righty. He's got a pair of hits today, looking for a walk at this point. Three one, cut on and miss, count 3 and 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Southern Maryland Blue Crabs have a 6-1 lead. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Tanner Duncan climbs the ladder. Fastball blows past Ryan Haug, and there are 2 away. 2 up and 2 down in the 8th for Michael Baca. For base hit. Make that 1 for 4. He heard me. He said, I'm not staying with no hits. Going to pick up a base hit as it goes through the left side between the third baseman and shortstop. Diego Goris. Now batting, the center fielder, number 9, Jack Sundberg. Here comes Jack Sundberg, the leadoff hitter. Pitch to Jack Sundberg is upstairs. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Meanwhile, at first base, it's Michael Baca. Pitch to Sundberg, foul back to the netting, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, one strike, two outs. Bottom eight. Count one ball and one strike. Pitch to Sundberg. Upstairs, count 2-1. Two balls, one strike, two outs. Bottom eight. The Blue Crabs lead at 6-1. Jack Sundberg hitting .228 on the season. But it's the on-base percentage that stands out for him as well as the 2-1 runs inside, count 3-1. Jack Sundberg has a .380 on-base percentage. Times earlier this season was north of 600. 1 for 4 on the day for Sundberg. He also has picked up a run scored. 3-1 pitch, swinging a high pop up in the infield. It's the third baseman, Scott Burcham, who gets under it and makes the catch for the final out. Blue Crabs strand 2 at the end of 8 innings of play, I should say. It's 6-1. Blue Crabs. We go to the top of the ninth. The Blue Crabs looking to start the second half with a win. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Charleston Dirty Birds against the new pitcher, Patrick Baker. First pitch, hot fastball, sizzles past Corey Bird's bat, count no balls and 1 strike. Yovan Gonzalez on deck, Scott Kelly to follow. Baker, pitch, up and away, count 1 and 1. One ball, 1 strike, nobody out. The base path's empty in the top of the 9th. 1-1 delivery, wave and a miss. Count 1 and 2. Really nice breaking ball from Patrick Baker. Baker throwing mid-90s. That slider at 81. 1-2 pitch. Fastball got a little away from him in the count 2 and 2. Blue Crabs 6-1 over the Dirty Birds. Southern Maryland 6 runs on 14 hits tonight. 2-2 delivery. Foul back behind home plate. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Patrick Baker surrendered just his 3rd run of the year in his last outing. That was in High Point, where he allowed a leadoff home run in the 7th inning. Two, swing and a miss, strike 3. One away in the top of the 9th, 6-1. Blue Crabs lead over the Dirty Birds. Powerful strikeout from Patrick Baker, who climbed the ladder. And there is one away in the top of the 9th. Patrick Baker can throw as hard as 100. But with better control, it's more the mid-90s. First pitch is low, and the count 1-0. The last fastball at 95.2 miles per hour. Give you some of the highest velocities from the pitchers in this ball game. 1-0 delivery from Baker, called strike, pumping heat right there. Walker Weichel topped out at 94.2 miles an hour. Alex Marathie, on the other hand, at 93.8. 1-1 delivery. Line drive, shallow center field, long run for Sundberg. He gets under it, it's 2 up, it's 2 down. Alex Marathie topped out at 93.8, Bradley Roney at 94.4, and Patrick Baker has the fastest pitch of the day at 95.2. And here comes Scott Kelly to the plate. Kelly 0 for 2. Patrick Baker's ERA down to just 1.13 as he faces off against the 9-hitter in the lineup, Scott Kelly. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning. He's already struck out 1 and induced a flyout. Pitch, breaking ball. Called, strike 1, outside corner. Count 0-1 on the top of the 9th. Thank everybody for tuning in tonight. The Blue Crabs looking to take the first 2 games of this 4-game set. 0-1 pitch, a little bit away. Count 1 ball and 1 strike now on the 9-hitter Scott Kelly. A 4-game set that split into a 2-2 home and home. Blue Crabs at home for the first 2. They go on the road in Charleston for the next 2. One pitch, called strike on the outside corner. Count 1 and 2. One-two pitch upcoming to Scott Kelly. Baker gets the sign from Ryan Haug. Baker set. Kelly takes a couple of practice swings. 1-2 delivery from Baker. Swinging a high pop-up, shallow center, long run for Sundberg. He tracks it down. Baker starts things with a strikeout. Pair of flyouts to center, and the Blue Crabs are winners tonight, 6-1. Well, Blue Crabs pitching is the story of tonight's ball game. Alex Marathieu goes 6 innings, allows 2 hits, 3 walks, does not allow a run in his debut as a full-time starter, as he has earned a spot in the rotation. He's run with it, at least to start. Bradley Roney went 2 innings tonight, allowed 1 run. It's the first run he's allowed in 12 innings of work, and Patrick Baker closes the door at a 1-2-3 ninth inning, a strikeout, a pair of flyouts to center. Blue Crabs win the first game of the second half. They move to 49-18 overall. This team is 31 games over 500. The Blue Crabs just keep on winning. Tomorrow night, we will not be with you on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We're going on the road to Charleston for the final 2 games of this series. And you can watch the broadcast on Charleston's feed as the Blue Crabs look for their 5th straight win. With the win tonight, it's 4 in a row. They won the last 3 games in the first half. They pick up the first game here in the second half. The Blue Crabs go for 5 straight tomorrow as they've started off the second half on the right track. That'll do it from us here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. The Blue Crabs winners tonight, 6-1. We'll have our full broadcast set up back with you on Friday. We'll have a terrific night, everybody. From Austin Rooney and everybody here with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, we say so long, and as always, we finish with Let's Go Blue Crabs.